Well, SmackDown is from Cleveland at the Gund Arena for the Go Home show, and you come to go talk with Mick Foley, but Hunter cut you off, and then Stephanie cut you off. How did you feel with these two? Did it just feel like you were maybe getting a little bit upstaged, or you just didn't give a shit? You were just like, hey, I'm just having fun, even though they're kind of taking turns doing their thing, cutting you off left and right.
Wait, what'd you say? I couldn't hear the beginning.
I was just talking about the SmackDown from Cleveland. It's that go home show. Mick
Yeah.
Foley is talking to you. Hunter cuts you off. Then Stephanie cuts you off. And I was wondering, did you ever feel upstaged by these two in the segments?
No, no, I didn't. They were supposed to make me look like an asshole, and they did a good job of it. And me, I'm not one person to complain. If they want to walk all over me in a promo, they can do it. I didn't care.
And especially at this point, like you said, you're still learning. You're still wet behind the ears trying to figure things out. And
Yeah, I was
there's
still nervous as hell every time I went out there.
right. There's a four corners match scheduled between yourself, Benoit, Hunter, and Rock on this SmackDown. And you let Stephanie know you're concerned about having her at ringside because you don't trust Rock or Benoit, let alone her husband. And Stephanie reminds you, Kurt, it's a business decision and she'll do the right thing. Hunter tells Stephanie the same thing. And Stephanie says, once again, it's a business decision. And Hunter reminds her who she's going home with. I mean, so there we go. You would get the win in the four-way when Stephanie stops Rock from pinning you, and you actually end up pinning Hunter. And Stephanie didn't break it up.
Didn't break it up.
Hunter's pissed.
Somebody's in trouble.
He's pissed, and we're off. The show goes off the air. Benoit putting the crossface on the Rock, and we move on, and we're finally at No Mercy. It's Albany, New York. Were you nervous? Now you know now you're going over. Were you nervous
Yes,
or
I
what?
do. Oh, I was so nervous. I almost threw up a couple of times. I was really nervous. I felt like I did in the Olympics for the gold medal match. That's how nervous I was.
Mm.
And there were 25,000 fans in that arena, and it was like, holy crap, I'm going over. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing yet, you know. So now I'm going over against one of the biggest stars in the history of the business. So it was a big night for me, and I was nervous as hell. Yeah.
The show is built around Steve Austin's first match, Kurt, back since his major neck surgery. And so you have that. Talk to me about Steve and that neck injury that he had. And you obviously won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck. Did you guys ever have conversations about his neck injury and him coming back at this point?
You know what? Not at this point in time because I didn't have neck surgery. Steve did, and he had fusion. And I broke my neck in the WWE against Brock Lesnar. And when that occurred, I called Steve and we started talking about broken necks and shit. And he said, listen, go to my doctor. He's the best. I went down to go to his doctor, and the doctor told me, listen, we're going to have to fuse 3 of your vertebrae, which means you can't wrestle anymore. You're going to have to retire. I was like, that's not happening. So I went home and I found another doctor that was able to do something different. It was more of a quick fix. But, Steve and I were communicating at this point in time because he was like, listen, you probably do need the fusion. I said, I'm not going to do fusion, Steve, because I'm going to have to retire. He said, really? I said, yeah, I can't. If you fuse more than 2 together, you have to retire. And I'm not going to do that. So he said, okay, well, good luck.
Especially with all the trauma you had been through in amateur wrestling too, let alone what you did with Brock Lesnar in the ring. It was a much different. I'm sure your neck and what it looked like when they got you down there was a lot different than what Steve had to go through with his surgery.